just gonna go character by character, because if I start at the beginning having taken no notes, I will talk myself in circles and send you all through the episode. So let's start with, since she's fresh on my mind, Egwene. First off, let me say, so much information in this episode. Yes! This is what I'm talking about! Oh, dude. And I want to go off and I want to talk about every character at once. But no, I said I was going to start with one. But I just wanted to say, so much information in this episode. As a non-book reader, I'm like, I didn't catch all the names of the cities and all the names of the people. But, nice! This is cool. Okay, alright, cool. So, let's start with Egwene. Egwene is captured. Sis got knocked out. They were running in the forest, and I will skip ahead. So, Leandrin had them, right? They're in the ways. Bro, they're in the ways! Okay, alright. I'm gonna relax. Alright. They're in the ways. Egwene's knocked out, so only Nynaeve has been talking to Leandrin. So, by the time Egwene wakes up, they're in this tropical, nice-looking forest. I will say that forest was looking good. She wakes up, and then there's the Shan-Chin. Yes, so they're sitting right there, just like right in front of them. And then nobody rushes. They started running, so they gave chase, because Leandrin loosed their ropes last minute, which I'll talk about her in a second. And I guess unshielded them, because they were shielded. Yes, unshielded them because Elaine went boom. Alright, and then so they're running, they catch Egwene, but they don't catch the other two. The other two slip away to pull a recon later. And I was like, okay, wise. Egwene is strapped up, locked up, jacked up. We find out she's taken to the crazy dude. The crazy dude. I guess these are the people who kind of fear the Aes Sedai, or they hate the Aes Sedai, based off the conversation between Lady Suroth and Leandrin earlier. They seem to hate each other, the Shan-Chin and the Aes Sedai. And they want different philosophies for the women who can channel. So they kind of treat them like dogs, it seems like. And she gonna be standing in a kennel? That's wild. They immediately put a collar on her. They're like, I heard she's really powerful. Collar her. They put this collar on her that's sealed with the one power. And it makes this nice little chest plate. I was like, let's go. Okay. Chest plate. They braided her hair up. I was like, okay, this can't be good, right? But maybe she can, like, throw hands. I thought maybe she'd throw a hand or two at the bald guy, but she didn't. And then Lady Suroth basically put a weave through her back or whatever, through the little armor the armor plate in her back or whatever. And she started screaming. I was like, okay, maybe she is one of two things. She could be like, I don't know. She could be just like zapping her with the one power, or she could be like shielding her in a way so that she can't use it. Because either way, they kind of react the same when they're being shielded and attacked. They're kind of just like, and they crumple down to the floor like something hurts, like maybe electricity. I don't know. Then the other chick walks up and she's like, she just puts a chain on her neck, and then you see another shot of Egwene just like on the ground looking up with a chain on her neck. I'm like, oh. And it cuts scene to Rand. As far as I know. Cuts the scene to Rand. And can I just say, that pissed me off. I was like, you're chaining. I didn't even know. Like, okay, obviously we've had these characters for a while now. It's season 2. I didn't know I was attached to these characters like that. But when y'all start messing with them, I'd be like, I'd be flipping tables, man. Anyway, though. She gets chained. Then we see at the... actually, I'm starting to blend it. I shouldn't have watched the next little preview for the next episode, because it kind of tells you. But basically, I think we leave off with her being chained and jacked up. So Egwene's not looking well. But the other two could come in clutch and come get her. I think that's what's the plan for the next episode. Go get her. I think I'll like popcorn around the characters again after I say what everybody's going through, because there's so many characters to get through. But that's Egwene. Since we're there, let's go ahead and knock off all the sisters. So, Nynaeve. Nynaeve was awake in the ways. She wakes up, talks to Leandrin a little bit. Dude. Dude, bro. Okay, at this point it's pretty obvious, right? After my last reaction or whatever, I was like, dude, and I'm looking at like other reactions online, and I'm like, nobody's really saying anything about Leandra in here. Like they're saying like, oh, she, did this or did that, but I was legit like, she's working with him. She's working with the Dark One. She's evil. She's probably the Black Aes Sedai. Bro, guess what she is? I know I'm supposed to be talking about Nynaeve. She's talking to Leandra in the little ways, right? The little lightning flash pit with, questionable budget there. But they're just talking it up. Leandra's kind of feeling regret or whatever. I'm not sure. I'll get to her in a second. Nynaeve is like betrayed. She's still kind of down, dude. Obviously, because she didn't heal at all. Like, she just dipped. But now she's lost even more because Egwene's gone. She just has this new chick. Nynaeve still got that attitude, though, because, like, and I jumped a little bit, but it's the same scenario. She was with Egwene, so yes, they got captured. She now knows that Liandrin is Black Aes Sedai. Oh, sorry, not Black Aes Sedai, Black Aja. Yeah, and then Liandrin kind of threw a look over her shoulder at Nynaeve and keeps complimenting her and stuff, so I was like, do you like her? Not like her. I don't think. I'm not sure. I really don't know what Liandrin has going on, so I don't know. Is she? I don't know. I think she just really, like, maybe she, like, thinks Nynaeve reminds her of her when she was still, like, hopeful for the world, or how she started out, or maybe she's just admiring her power and who she is. I don't know. So, whatever it was made her turn back, and she's like, zing zing, unshields her, and does her little ropes on the hands, and then I think she realizes first, and then she's like, dip, and then she's like, do something. She's like, I can't. So she still can't touch the source. We're in that little zone here. She definitely wants to get back to Egwene, but they're kind of, recon right now in this little, like, town area. City, if you will. I'm not really sure where they are, to be honest. Somewhere. Somewhere that the evil chicks are occupying. So, because all the soldiers are walking around with their scary faces. And she's just, like, telling Elaine, she's like, oh, these clothes aren't royal enough for you. She's in distress, and I get it, but it's like, please don't do this season 1 stuff, bruh. I know you broke down. I know you're desperate to get back to Egwene. But does it seem like she's caring about her royal robes right now? She said, let's change, because they're looking for us. That's what she said. But okay. But I guess it's that Two Rivers stubbornness thing. As soon as somebody said that in, like, one of their videos, it might have been a book reader, so I was like, oh, okay, they're supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be really hard-headed and stubborn and stuff, so, okay. But, yeah, so they get knocked out again. You take any of them ladies, and you say, and they are knocked out until you already get them somewhere. I was like, why did this dude do this? Then later on, you find out he is a warder to an Aes Sedai. Goodness, she is yellow. Bro, because yellow is representing. They are. Ooh, and so is brown. But okay, yellow first, then brown. Blue kind of crazy right now, bro. Blue kind of crazy. And red tripping. But, okay. Well, really black, sorry. Back to it. So, that's all I can say about Nynaeve. She just wants to get Egwene back. They're about to talk it up with that yellow Aja chick. So that's good. Lanfear. Okay, because Elaine, I'm going to skip over Elaine just because she didn't have much going. And then I'm going to get into Perrin after Lanfear. So I'm jumping around. Lanfear. Ooh, I love a character that is scary chick. Sis is Freddy Krueger out here. Bro, when there was a scene where, like, the lieutenant, as I hate every time. And I stand. But every time she says it, I'm like, please don't have to explain this to nobody else, not you. Please, Lieutenant, or just scratch it. The second head guy, huh? It wasn't him, it was somebody else. How about that? Okay, anyway, back to it. Lanfear, it's confirmed. She's crazy. This is kind of scary. She cut her hair back. I was like, okay, that makes more sense because that wig was looking thick. Woolly mammoth wig. But it looked like she was staying warm with just that alone because this is very small. Anyway, so her and the, I'm going to drive myself crazy, lieutenant are like, and I thought for a second maybe they're together because lieutenant, dude, I'm not going to do this. Ishamael was like getting real close to Rand and like stroking his face and got really close like he was gonna kiss him, and then it was actually Lanfear, and I was like, bro, that was weird. I was like, man, you're really obsessed with these kids, aren't you? What in the world? Homie is weird. He is still kind of weird though. Either that or he just likes stroking faces and getting real close. But Lanfear is trying to get the dragon. She only swore the oaths because she's in love with the dragon. The dragon broke her heart, and she wanted to get him back. So she was like, I'm assuming this is what the show told us, so I don't know, of course. But I'm assuming she's like, he chose his wife over her. And you know, in that flashback way back, the dragon had a baby. And he wanted the world to be good for that baby. Before the world broke, because it was all futuristic. Remember that? I'll just get a picture and I'll throw it in right now. There we go. Yeah. And then, she is basically trying to get Rand. And so, the smart plan is to try to trick her. But I feel like she's going to read through it. And that really makes me want to transition to Rand and Moiraine, because they're kind of a package deal in this episode. But, like I said, we're going to talk about Perrin. So, Perrin frees an Aiel. Let's go! Wolfman was tripping a little bit. Wolfman said, this is not your pack, that's not your pack. He's not necessarily bringing a package deal himself. It's just you and these dogs, bruh. You and these wolves. Hopper aside, Hopper's pretty cool. Hopper's pretty loyal. All the other wolves are like, post up, you yelling at our homie like that? This is not my pack either, obviously. Look at these dogs rolling up on me like this. So Hopper goes with him because the dude just takes him back to the village. He ain't feeling it. He's upset. Hopper said, actually, roof, roof, look at the village. And so he does, and he sees a little vision of Uno, who they haven't buried, in a cage. So he's like, alright, stay here. I'm gonna go alone. And then so he goes alone, and instead, he sees Uno all jacked up, dead and whatnot, in the cage. And he also sees an Aiel lady, but he doesn't know she's Aiel. And some dude walks up and says, don't try to free her. This and that and this and that, not giving you any information, even though you asked. I'll set you up in an inn. He said, thanks. Because he hears, guess who? That dude, man. It's that dude. Oh, y'all said he was still alive. I kept hope alive that he just bled out. No, they saved him. Oh, crazy man. The black dude, what's his name? To start with a V? He is a child of the light. He is the questioner. The main questioner. Because I'm sure that's a sect of the children of the light. White clothes. There you go. So yeah, he's back. He's all jacked up though. He got a little arm sling. And it turns out the dude who was talking to Perrin was like, is some kind of big deal's son. So the dude who was a big deal was his dad. And he's like, one day you gonna run. He said, one day. He said, the child who suckles is heavy. Basically meaning you gonna drop soon from this prestige. And when you do. Huh? He talking like Leandrin, like they would get along if they weren't on opposite sides. Ooh, and they're on opposite sides. Ooh, they should run across each other. And you know what's funny? They said the White Cloths pushed back the Shanchin from that village that they couldn't hold anyway, which we knew because they said it. And then I was like, how are y'all beating them? I thought they were chicken. I was like, where are the white cloths? Clothes? Robes? Where are them children of the light? Because y'all had all that smoke before. I guess they still got it. Let's go. I don't like them at all, but I'm just like, battle. Yeah, get them. I don't like the Shanchin either, so it's like if they can destroy each other, that'd be nice. Back to it. Perrin, who is hiding from that man, who possibly has a name that starts with a V, that dude, ends up coming back out at the end of the night because he wants to sneak out. And right when he's about to sneak out, he's like, all right, little girl. So he turns around and he's like, bro, I'm not going to leave you in this cage. And she's like, why are you helping me? Actually, she's kind of cool, so why are you helping me? And then he's like, no one should be in a cage. Homie's Batman. This is Wolf Batman. Because no one should be in a cage. So she's like, you own my water now? I think you have my water. Here's my water. Your water is mine. My water is yours. There we go. That's what she said. And that just means what we think it means. I owe you a life debt now because you saved mine. So she was looking for her chief. I guess not now. Anyway. So The white cloths, I lost it. I don't know what they are. Children of the Light showed up. They're like, I told you not to let her out. And he's like, we don't want to fight. And then she's just like, okay. And then he's like trying to protect her, but they're coming in a circle. He's like, attack all at once, otherwise she'll have you if we attack one by one. I was like, that's the smartest thing I've heard anybody say in any movie ever. There you go. You're gonna lose. Because when he was about to protect her, she said, I said, if anybody that I'm trying to protect, no one I can't, is laughing when I try to protect them in a dangerous situation where people with swords are surrounding us, and is laughing, I'm like, well, yeah, go ahead. And she stepped in front of him. I was like, well, feel free. Since you got it like that, I'm going to stand behind you. She went all Black Widow on everybody. She said, it don't matter. He did the signal for them all to attack at once. Some of them were slower than others because they went down. She almost killed the dude. Perrin was like, no, leave him alive. He gave you water, remember? And then she was like, fine. So they're gonna accompany each other to a place with a T. Place with a T. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna go together because because they're supposed to go together because he's looking for his friends. That's probably, putting it together because I'm slow. So that's probably where Egwene and Ogier and everybody else is low-key except for Matt and Rand. So that's where everybody is right now, probably in this mysterious city with a T that's being occupied by the evil chicks. All right, it's coming together. And he says, the Dark One's lieutenant, sorry, I just say his name, I keep forgetting. Ishamael said, this is where the last battle will be won, and the dragon will join us. His plan, I'm going to jump to him because Perrin's done, I'm sorry, that's all. He's looking real cool, his eyes will go permanent soon, but I'm going to need him to figure out something to do, because, and not to do in a rude way, but to do, like, give me some supernatural, you know? Don't just keep calling them to help you, because they didn't show up when you were fighting this time, and neither did Hopper. You know what I'm saying? But they would have got Hopper, so I'm glad he wouldn't show up. I was like, please don't kill them dogs. You did enough in this episode. To animals. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Ishamael's plan is to get all of them together, right? And I just assume wipe them out or either have them choose dark. And then he's like, what will Rand do if he sees all his friends are lost? And then Lanfear's like, he will break. So they're trying to break Rand, but also, what would you do? You know, you see all your people there, you're supposed to be the dragon, and you're like, you know what? I control all of this. I'm gonna control all of this. And then I think maybe like the Force or whatever, like any dark side thing, whenever you try to take too much control, you end up jacked up. So I think maybe they're banking on him making that kind of decision. Talked about the Dark One's plan, or sorry, maybe not the Dark One, but maybe Ishamael spoke about that plan though, and Rand. Should we get into the package deal? We didn't see Lan at all in this episode, but we did see Farron. I see why you guys like her so much. Thank goodness for that older lady wisdom, huh? Older lady wisdom. You know she's probably old because their aging slows. And if she looks kind of like an elder lady, not elder, you know what I mean? But like, if she looks like a lived lady, then she's probably very, very lived. If you know what I'm saying, trying to say nicely. And I don't mean that she looks bad or anything like that. Actress is great, but I'm saying all of those years come a lot of wisdom. No wonder why she's brown Aja, bro. She can like read. She's been reading people. Yes. Okay, we found out another thing, important information. Apparently, these Aes Sedai can use compulsion. Dude, when Leandrin in the beginning, we're gonna talk about Leandrin too, but okay, I'm gonna skip it. So, Varen, she goes to the White Tower. She's there on this horse. She's cool. She all that, you know what I'm saying? She shows up, posts up in that bookstore. Oh, not the bookstore, but the library, wherever it is. And her homies are like, hey, you're back. It's been a while. She says, they start throwing questions at her. Like, we're so happy to see you. It's been a while. She said, like she's dodging everything, every question they ask. And she just like, and what you got on these two pupils I hear so much about. And then she goes to the mistress of novices. And then she's like, hey, G, what's cracking? Don't stand. I caught that. Is she a big deal? Huh? Is Varen like a big deal? Because it seemed like she was like an Aes Sedai in retirement. But she's very highly respected there. And like I said, she looked like, she looks aged. She looks about maybe 50, 40, in regular age. So in Aes Sedai age, that's probably like at least 100 and something, So, or more. So I think like she's really well respected there. The chick is like, oh yeah, whoops. She's like, have you seen these novices? I really want to speak with him. And then the girl is like, actually yes. They are out. They went to this castle town. I don't know how to say that with an accent. To visit something of Andor. So basically saying Elaine had signed them out to go to her home so that they could do some royal crap for her nephew or something birthday. And Varen's like, really? That seems important. Seems like something you would have remembered. And then she's like, yes, indeed, quite so. And she's kind of shook though. I thought she was like lying, so I was like, crap, another Black Aja, bro, it's out here. They are stacking up in there. And I was like, nah, it might not be the case because her homie, the other Brown, she came in, she looked at that calligraphy, she looked at that diction, she looked at that handwriting, she said, and I didn't know what language they are speaking because that looked like some kanji or something, bro. That looked like something else. I don't know why I was expecting English, but they said she got it. She looked like she wrote it in distress. And I was like, what? And they're like, could it be that she was under the weave of compulsion or something like that? And I was like, oh! And she's like, check on it, sister. And then so when Leandrin comes back, which we'll get to her right after her, Leandrin is like, ooh. So she walks in with this little basket of like herbs or asparagus. And she's like, and you can only get it at a certain amount of days. And then she finishes her sentence. She's like, yeah, at a certain amount of time. Yeah, I feel you at that certain season. So yes, you've been exactly where you said you were. But she said it just like that. So she's like, nice alibi. And then I saw like immediately, ooh, I love how the show doesn't spoon feed you because like I just so happened to look. I looked at her arm right when Leandrin was walking in. And I was like, ooh, you better hide that. And she said, like right there in the cape, she said, gone. And she tucked her ring behind her. But then she pulled it out again. So I'm like, I wonder if she said bzz and changed it. Because it still was looking pretty dark. I was looking real close. I said, is that red or not? You better do a little better job. She opened that asparagus up. I said, watch it, bro. You got your thing on. I'm not looking out for her. I'm just saying. It was awesome. It was a nice choice. You know what I'm saying? A nice little part in the script. Just a little. I was like, ooh, you better keep that under wraps. She did. It was cool to see, like, Varen kind of, like, look through it all. Because Leandrin's like, oh, we need to tell the keeper. Because I heard that caravan to the Elaine excuse, basically, got attacked. And it was probably by white cloaks. I'm going to say cloaks. There we go. White cloaks or Trollocs or whatever. We better tell the keeper right away. These girls are more important than gold. Quickly. And Varen was like, And then Leandrin rushed off up the stairs, knowing that she didn't trick her at all. Because Varen stopped walking with her and everything and just watched her go up the stairs. I was like, nah, she knows, bro. I was like, yes. I love that. At least if somebody's lying, somebody else in the tower knows it. Thank you for being on our side. Because we need some wins. The bad ones are winning in this episode. Oh, they're winning. They got Egwene. She gonna be jacked up. Hope it makes her stronger, but I hope in a good way. I don't know. But we don't know. Matt is nowhere to be seen in this episode either. I forgot all about him, to be honest. But I think they're gonna show up too. A little later. Leandrin. So I kept sprinkling her in. So what did we not say? Leandrin swore the dark oaths. And she, as Nynaeve said, betrayed her sisters. She is kidnapping folks out here. She has her son dying out here. Which I was like, is that the reason she swore her oath? But she kind of alluded to the fact that she's like, I lost hope in this world being better the way it is. Like, it's broken. It's not going to get better. Anything I do is not going to make it better. She was talking that talk. Remember in that market, and I was like, she sounds like a dark friend. She's more than a friend. She's a blah, 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 blah. They said the name of them. And she said, one day, the dark one's mind will change. And the blah, 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 blah will be chained. And then, anyway, that's later. So, she alludes to the fact that she lost hope in this world as it is. And I guess she wants to help the dark one bring about a new world after the breaking of the wheel, so that they can all just have a better world and stuff. I was like, I mean, it doesn't seem like it honestly doesn't seem like a bad idea. Because leaving it as it is not working. Everybody's saying the world is broken. I mean, I feel like you can find a little corner of peace if you stop infighting, but maybe that's the problem. You know, maybe it's bigger than that. So she thinks the wheel should be broken. Maybe. I don't know if she's on that side, but that's definitely what Shamael was saying. Like, he truly believes it. So, she's on the dark side, bro. But she looks like she's still fighting. Like, something in her is still, like, feeling guilty and stuff. She was throwing shots at Lady Suroth, who took off her headgear, but we'll get into that in 1 second. Oh, not literally, but, you know. And she was throwing verbal blows with her, talking about, oh, when you bow, yeah. And then the Suroth was like, ooh, when I get to chain you, yeah. You stupid Aes Sedai, you do things wrong. We train girls so they earn touching the one power. And then Leandrin was like, what you do with these girls is a disgrace. She's going blow for blow. I thought they were going to start fighting, but she's got her fingernails cut off, so she's just sitting around now. I don't know. Apparently she ain't got no temper control, so that seems to be a theme. Maybe that's why they clash so much, because they're kind of the same. But anyway, she threw that back look over at Nynaeve specifically, and she's like, if you survive it. So basically she said, after the Dark One changes his mind, you'll bow to me. And then she walks over to the ways to leave, and then she's like, if you survive that long. And then undoes the shielding and all that stuff that I said earlier. And dips. So, the thing about Leandra in this season, I was so disappointed in her last season, but to see her in stride, I still feel like there's a part of her that could be saved. I don't know if I'm crazy Supergirl from that season where Lena was tripping. But it was Lena. She did change. I don't know. I want her to come through. Because it seems like she's fighting it. If it didn't seem like she was fighting it, I'd give up Leandrin right now. I'd be like, crazy. Let's just watch her, downfall. But I want to see her choose the right side at least before she dies. If she dies, if this path leads to destruction, I hope she changes her mind. At least in the 11th hour. You know what I mean? So, we see a couple more scenes. And then, basically, just her having that conversation with Varen that I alluded to. Or basically, just downright told you. And, yeah. So, Leandrin's back in the tower. She was headed to the Keeper, so she says. And now we know she'd be lying. She's probably done the compulsion spell, which sounds very Harry Potter. And she has, and it also sounds like Vampire Diaries. But, and I'm like, man, she got that black ring on. As soon as I saw that black ring in the waves, I was like, ooh. I'm just excited. That's what my excited sound is. Just happy. But I'm not happy with her decision. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. She's actually the first person that made me want to watch the show, because she was just talking wild. Season 1, episode 1, she's like, you men make it filthy. I was like, ooh, who is this? What's going on? Oh, man, she was ruthless. Speaking of ruthless, leader. Is this what it means to be a blue? Oh, I said I was going to talk about Suroth. Let me do it real quick. She took, I don't want to be, okay, how can I say this? Okay. I had an idea of what she might look like because, I don't know how, but I'd never seen anything. And I was like, I looked through the chainmail, and I was like, wow, she has some pretty eyes. I didn't see her eyebrows, but I thought she had them. Apparently she don't. That's okay. She got a big head, but I think they added that extra for, the little tattoos on the side, and she has like a very serious mohawk going. But I think it's because they like cut her fingernails, and he's like, away from me until your appearance is suitable for the high man. And Lord, the high lord or whatever. She wasn't the leader, bro. I thought she was the leader. She showed up and was humbled real quick. So she's like a general. And a hot-headed one at that. And she has this like long mohawk thing going now. Kind of like a mane, like a horse mane. But they all have different hairstyles. And I think when she was still like Lady Suroth, I think she probably still is, but when she was in High Prestige, like they rolled it up top. And I don't know, I thought that was a helmet, but that was her hair. That was a lot of hair. I just want to mention that. So, Rand and Moraine, they were running. We start out the episode and they're running. I said, go, run through the forest, go, she coming. We looked back at the cabin, and I was like, I knew that wasn't Moraine in the little preview that had a lady leaving with her back to the thing wearing blue with long dark hair. I was like, that's not Moraine. I don't know if that is, but everybody said it was, so I kind of started believing it, but that was her leaving that hut. That little black stuff went through her eyes again. I was like, here we go. And she healed herself using some evil power, like dark weaves. And it came through the ground, so she obviously can channel. Yeah, we saw it. And I guess we saw it this time, so it was like clear the first time, but now it's black. So I guess, I don't know what that is. But evil. And then she gets up and she's like, cuss word. So now it's like Moraine has made the list. I don't know how she got her name, because the girl never said it, but I think she just talked to Ishamael. And they did have a conversation about her, but she's not big fish. She's like a tadpole to them. And I'm like, ooh, fair enough, because like technically they said that she's not really a main character, but they kind of just made her seem that way for the show. And like even Gandalf's not the main character, Still, I was like, oh. Anyway, back to it. I'm sorry, I got distracted. They run to this barn or stable, and they tell the stable lady, what really Moraine does, yo, we need your horses, G, and if you don't say yes, you will regret this night for the rest of your day, if it's even long. And then the chick said, okay. So she straps up these horses, she gets ready to go, and then we see them, or we think we see them, on horseback, going away, Next thing you know, Lanfear shows up at the barn, and she's like, oh, yeah, right, yeah, and Moraine had slit the neck of the last horse. And Lanfear's like, clever. Ruthless! Oh, no, as soon, like, I'm kind of okay, like, I'm fine with smart ruthlessness. I got through the 100 because I respected Clark's decisions, even if I didn't agree with them. They kind of did a really good job of making it seem like it was that way or another way, and that other way was not the right way. So, in a place of a catch-22, then what do? She slit the neck of the last horse. Oof. I knew it was going to hit some people. I know it's going to hit some people who react, and I'm going to try not to take on their emotions, because I get it. I understand. I wouldn't have done it, but I still stand. So they go, and it turns out she has, like, this dude shows up, and she gets some information out of them. He's like, where does road lead, by the way? He said, well, all roads lead to Tarvalon. Nah, that's not what I said in my head, but he says, oh, to the White Tower, of course. And she said, of course. He keeps talking, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. She says, she barely, just like Ishamael, she barely moved her hand. His neck severed, his head flew off his body, and blood went, whoa, what? Like, all in the air. And then his body fell off the horse eventually, so she got on the horse, and she started following them. And it turns out they ditched the horses. It was just that girl. So when Lanfear caught up to the girl, I was like, oh, another cold decision. She be killing, folks, bro. This is the ferryman all over again, but the stable hand. Don't, if you ever run into Moraine and Rand's with her, you're gonna die. You're gonna die or get maimed. Because you have reached the end of your destination and your journey here. And I'm sad to say I still stand. But I would, since I'm not of any importance to the wheel, I would die. Yeah, probably. Lanfear showed up, and she was like, yes, my lady. Of course, she was playing it cool. She was playing it smart. She was playing it safe. She said, I won't tell nobody, my lady. And she said, of course you won't. I was like, please don't kill her. She said, yoom. A little yoom with her hand and kept riding. They're like, they have to fall asleep sometime, and then I'll get them. And I was like, uh-oh, Freddy Krueger. And you look at the girl, and the stable hand is screaming, and her mouth is closing and getting stitched together by, like, threads that are getting tightened by the one power, I assume. But indefinitely. I'm like, bro, how's this gonna eat? She's gonna die. She's gonna starve. I mean, I know we got medicine for that. Or not medicine for a stitched mouth, but we can, like, suture it. Or she can maim herself trying to unsuture it. I don't know how that enchantment's gonna work. But my first thought was, oh, another innocent person, bro. You stacking them. It's getting hard to defend you. It really is. It's like, I feel like Atlas, you're just dropping more planets on me. Like, you're just getting like, oh, how about some gravity? I said, Moraine! Please don't do this. I'm holding the stand on the back of my own back. Please do something nice. And so she smiled a bit at her nephew when they went back to the house. I was like, bro, you about to endanger your family. They keep showing me your sister, and now I'm starting to feel for her. And then we met your little nephew who was happy to see you. You bring in the danger. Oh. And then they gave Rand some nice clothes, which is nice. And then so they're like, okay, let's stay here for a little bit, and then we're going to rest up, wash up, get up out of here. The sister comes to her room, and she's like, bro, you don't look like you got it all together, basically. And she was like, I don't. And then so she's like, you know, a wise person told me something when I was a little girl. Or I got some great advice when I was a little girl. And when she started, I was like, right, here we go with a story. Y'all never just say what you're going to say. You always got to say a story. But it was very quick and helpful. Turns out the person that gave her the advice was Moraine. So she gave her that advice back. Probably the only person Moraine will listen to is old Moraine. So, no offense. This is hard-headed. I stand. And so she says, hey, is it true? Is it completely true that Rand needs you to protect him? And she's like, she looks around, she gets watery, she's like, thank you. And then so she's like, no, actually, I think we'll be staying. So she goes back, she's dressed up, she's nice, she's looking like she cleaned up a little bit. They can't go to sleep. So she gets Rand, and then she goes to the room, she's like, go ahead, lay down a little bit. He said, don't say that. Because then that means I'm going to fall asleep, and we can't fall asleep right now. She said, actually. And he said, bro, come on. And she said, bro, I don't know what to do next. What I do know is Lanfear is looking for you, and every tale of Lanfear stays the same. A lot was lost, but one thing remains the same. Lanfear is in love with the dragon, basically. So, trick her, you know? So he goes to sleep, wakes up on that wheel like we saw, with no shirt on. And she's sitting there on the throne looking at him. We didn't see that part. And she said, finally. And it cut. I feel like I've talked about everything. So with that feeling, predictions and reactions, let's see. They gave the horn of Valir to, is it Valir? They gave the horn to old crazy bad guy. Leader of the Shan-Chan, it turns out. He in the way though, Suroth trying to kill him immediately. She showed up kind of haughty, too. She was like, bro, and about it, who? Maybe you messed up. Maybe you got that smoke. She was coming over there, like, real, like, she showed up like she owns the place. And he's like, what? He said, Lady Suroth will speak for herself in front of Lord something something. I was like, ooh! So you are, not the boss here. And she was rolling up with that same energy. But they gave him the horn. And he opened it up, and I don't know what it is, to be honest. They didn't show us what was inside it, and if they did, I forgot real quick. It was some mechanism. A box was gold and was opened up. He looked in, and it was all, and he was like, with this, we will rule the entire world. Something like that. And I was like, okay. I saw this part in the preview, but I thought he was like a second-hand man. Nah, homie is the leader. Okay. He apparently hates women who can channel, too. Like, I don't know. He covers their faces. I don't know. I still don't know what the horn does. I don't know what the horn... What about the horn is special? I didn't personally see a horn. I saw a box. But I assume it's some big deal is a big deal. Another thing I wanted to mention was Ishmael said, he said one of them was born mine. The other will be more wolf than man soon enough. Obviously, Perrin's the wolf. So, Matt was born his is interesting, because he did have that dagger and said it was feeding off the darkness in him, just as much as he on it. So Matt has a proclivity to the darkness. That's what Ishmael said. He was born mine is wild. Oh, I would hate to hear that. Oh. She was born mine. Don't do this. I had hope. No. He protected his sisters. I like to think like that's the thing that's going to save him. Like his heart for family. I don't know. So the way he was talking about Moraine and she was like, I'm surprised you left her alive, meaning like you shielded her. And he's still aware. So he knows her name. He remembers that he shielded her. It wasn't like, it doesn't seem like he's the kind of dude that does things for nothing. And everything he does, he keeps record of it in his mind. And I was like, even that small little detail, you would think like someone with a huge agenda like that wouldn't be like worrying about these floating pieces here and there. Even if she is close to Rand, you could just like pop up and say, guess who? You know what I'm saying? I took it again. You can't really take it again because she ain't got it back yet. Huh? I don't know, because guess what? I'm going in with some predictions. Hey, if you don't want to hear the predictions, I get it, G. I would probably skip this part too. Because if I get spoiled on something, I'm going to be upset chick. I was kind of spoiled on like Lanfear a little bit. But none of us trusted her anyway. So was it spoiling? I don't know. The Emerald seed is still away. Sis, I said, and I'm gonna say something in a minute. But anyway, back to it. She was like, they're talking about it. And then he was like, just like you were once. So I was like, okay, was Lanfear way back in the day an Aes Sedai who could no longer channel and was with the dragon, and when the dragon chose his wife, apparently his kid, over her, she was heartbroken, swore an oath to the Dark One so she can get the dragon back, and in that deal she got her channeling too. And that channeling was dark channeling. So now she can dark channel and she's the most powerful. Why is she the most powerful? Plus it seemed like she was kind of scared of Secondhand Man, Ishmael. Like he rolled up on her and he was like, are you going to betray me? And she's like, obviously. I'm like, oh, okay, why not? I'm into that. But I was also like, again, in my mind over and over, I was like, would I choose the dark? Would I choose the dark? But it's like, you can't trust each other, ever. You're always doing bad things. Even if, like, your point is good, like, okay, maybe we should break the wheel, because this isn't working. Like, we can't just keep relying on this wheel and this prophecy all the time, dude. And the way he talked about them, he's like, they keep mentioning we broke the world, but in 3,000 years, they haven't done anything to fix it. Like, they haven't picked up the pieces. They're still playing kings and castles. And I was like, oh, he got the smoke. He got the smoke, because they sure are. Lord this and lady this and queen and king here, castle warfare, swords. He comes from Jetsons. So there's that. Maybe Moraine is more similar to Lanfear than we realize. In this state of mind, because apparently Aes Sedai is supposed to be tripping if they ain't on the power. And you know she's kind of tripping, but she's still not lying. And yeah, but it's like, bro, if she does get her powers back, is the only way to get your powers back to be a dark friend? Or is that what they would have you to believe? Or is he going to probably try to use that later against her? Because he said he likes the way Aes Sedai get, like, creative when they can't channel. And, I mean, I'd call it creative, slitting Lanfear's throat and then stabbing her through the heart is pretty creative, but she don't seem too bitter about that. She seems, like, bitter, but bitter enough to learn her name and remember it, which is not great, but not great for our heroes. Meanwhile, with the heroes, I don't know. It's either a good thing or a bad thing, and I don't know. I don't know which one it is yet. Will she get dark powers? I know the book readers, if y'all are listening to this, you're like, bro, you're off base, bro. Something like that. Okay, I'm off. Okay. You know, and I haven't seen a Trolloc since, like, episode 3. Where are they? Where are they? They are gone. And where's that little girl? So, I guess we put it together. The person with the black ring was Leandrin. Oh, I'm so sad. I wonder if at that table they're, like, compelled to sit still. Okay. I remember what I was going to say. The Amerlin seat is still gone. Bro. Why? Where are you? For real. Like, when they introduced her, attend you all, she comes. Watcher of the seals. I said, where were you? Where were you? Where were your eyes, excuse me, when, Ishamael was opening that bloody poem to undo the seal for Lanfear? Cause, excuse me, are we talking about the same seals? Or are you watcher of them actual seals? Or, you know, them water dogs. Where were you? Where were them eyes? Huh? Aren't you the eyes, said I, leader lady? You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of respect for you. You know I do. Maybe not. You don't know, but whatever. I do. I have a lot of respect for you. Only thing is, I only saw you one episode. Where are your tentacles when it's time to be stopping this? You haven't channeled anything except that oath to Moraine, which isn't even binding now. Will darkness consume her soul if she goes back? Because she keeps, like, not going back. So maybe it still will. I'm wondering about these little oaths and stuff, because it's a sacred oath rod, okay? But it was sealed with the one power, which she can no longer touch. So is she bound to not lying anymore? Is she still bound to these oaths? It seems like as long as you take them seriously, you're bound to them. Because nothing's happening to Leandrin. I know she took some different oaths, but I don't know. How sacred are oaths in this, you know, world, this lore? So yeah, dude, I'm just wondering where them peepers at when it's time to be watching certain seals. I wonder if she's watching the other seals. Maybe, because maybe he hasn't resurrected everybody out of the seals yet. So she's watching the other ones. I'm like, bro, you missed this one. This one has been opened. That's why y'all need to communicate. Okay, and another thing, last thing. Moraine said that Lanfear is known for 2 things. And I forgot the other one. Maybe it's for loving the dragon, I don't know. But for maybe being the most powerful, and because she can navigate the Telandriel. I'm going to call it Telandriel because that's what I remember. Which is basically, remember that thing she used to get to Swan in episode 6 when it was revealed? The Love Shack. She opened it up, and that was a Telandriel, right? And she can navigate those. I thought it just means she can walk through people's dreams. It says Daughter of the Night, she'd be walking. And she do. So does that mean she could also at any point in time go right through them gates? Ooh! Can she at any point of time go through those gates that the Aes Sedai used to become accepted? Crap. And the betrayal, when I realized that they were in the ways at the top of the episode, I was like, Leandrin, you know how to navigate the ways without Ogier? You bad, aren't you? Oh no. It hurts, every little thing. I'm just like, oh, you had a lot. You were a lot more than I thought you were. You were planning. Plotting. Anyway, speaking of that, she went off to go talk to the Keeper. And the Keeper's still OG, but she don't know much either. Who watching these seals? Where is the Amerlin? She's probably gonna be in episode 6 if they're keeping to the trend, because there's only 8. She better not show up in the end of 8. I'm a strangle necks if she shows up at the end of 8. I said, attend who? I'm not even gonna show. I'm not gonna kneel. None of that. You should have been doing that job. I don't know what she's doing. She might be doing a job. I don't know. But somebody online kind of likened her to something like a pope. And the Pope's not always around when big things happen either. Yeah, man. So it's like, goodness. I want to see her channel, though. I want to see battle. Like, give me. I want ease of access. Give me, like, it don't take much. Huh? All the bad guys they're just they're just a million times better than anything I've seen any of the good guys do. When Leandrin, I should have known. And I know they swap scenes, but whatever. When Leandrin shielded Nynaeve with the quickness and with the slight work in that episode, what was it, episode 2? 1? It was 1. With the quickness, with the slightness, she said, you know what I'm saying? As easy as knocking a bottle off of a table onto the floor. I said, wait a second. If she had that kind of power, how did she lose to the false dragon? This is pissing me off. This is pissing me off. Because where was all that power when you pretty much died? I hate when people be holding stuff back. But it's nice to see. But alright. Alright, that would have been useful. Thank you, Wanda. That's like Wanda from... That's Wanda from the multiverse versus... Yeah, because of Darkhold. Versus Wanda from any of the Avengers movies. I was like, okay, you were good, but you had them little red things. And you almost got Thanos, but you kind of didn't. I was like, okay, she's really good. But in... I almost called it WandaVision, the movie. In Multiverse of Madness, she was... she was Lanfear. Basically. Ooh, the baddies are killing. But the goodies are not killing. Varen is cool, though. Varen looks like she could throw down. People are kind of scared of Varen. She's really smart. I like that. I hope nothing happens to her. Leanne, she ain't doing much but covering for the Amberlin. Amberlin, gone! Where? And, yeah, I think that's all I gotta say so far. Moraine is doing the best she can. I stand because she's doing the best she can. Ooh, but she's making it hard. Ooh, she's making it hard. I'm not gonna unstand because she killed a horse, and that's no offense, because she's done worse. She freaking led that girl to... Oh, poor Stablehand, bro. Talk about a wrong shift. Well, I should have called out today. I ran into Moraine. Oh, I can't say anything, because... You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's no offense. But she can't really say much right now. Oh, I hope she gets help. Hope she goes to the White Tower, but then they're gonna question Moraine, and... Oh, Moraine's not there, so question me all you want. I'm on business. I'm like, bro, not everything can be written off to business. Have a heart. If that's happening, maybe Moraine's getting a little dark. I don't know. I still stand. Only thing that would make me unstand... Oof. What would make me unstand from Moraine at this point? If she killed Lan? That would hurt if she killed Lan. Would I unstand? I'd be really upset. I'd be really upset. And I don't know if I would understand, but I'd be really upset. That'd be something I wouldn't understand, huh? But yeah, that was season 2, episode 5, my thoughts on it. And I'm gonna have a time. Action-packed for me. Information-packed and stacked. So many subtle things like that ring when she hit it on the way in. I was like, let's go. I love that. Show me some stuff I'll have to rewatch and then I catch it then, but I caught it first. Let's go. Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm excited for next week, but yay. 5th episode down, 6th episode next week. Let's go.